Hey guys, it's Sam and this is Top 5 Wednesday. If you are new to Top 5 Wednesday, I will leave a link to the Goodreads group down below for topics. This week's topic is books we want to reread. I know we focus here on BookTube and the book world a lot with new releases and the next big thing, but I do like rereading books on occasion because I'm usually kind of scared to reread books because I'm afraid I'm not going to like it as much on the second read through. But generally speaking, there are books that I want to reread. Number 5 is a book that I actually have reread a few times now, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Obviously one of my favorite books of all time, and I've read it in physical copy. It was the first time that I read it, and then I've also reread it on audiobook, and I just love it every time I read it. Like, I get re-immersed in it, I find new things, I find like little nuances and stuff. Like, it's a book that never gets old to me, and I will probably try to reread it at least every like few years for the rest of my life. Number 4 is the Shatter Me series, but really just Unravel Me and Ignite Me by Todd Amafi, because I do not plan on rereading Shatter Me, because I didn't really like it that much. But I really do want to reread this series, because especially these two books, I read them both in one sitting. Just marathon read them. And I feel like I didn't absorb a lot of it, and with the series, the TV series is going to be coming out sometime soon, hopefully. We don't really have a lot of news on it as of the filming of this video, but when this TV series comes out, like, I want to reread it and just kind of be ready, because I know the series is going to expand on a lot of stuff, especially like the world building elements that are kind of like lackluster, so I just really want to like re-experience it and like become Warnet trash again, because I feel like they've kind of faded a little bit from like OTP status for me. Like, I still love them, obviously, but I've forgotten. And I need to reignite everything about them. That was a pun I wasn't intending on doing, but here we are. Number 3 is the Grocery Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. I've only read this the one time, and it was something that I obviously loved, but I feel like I want to go back and really analyze it and like tab up the series and just relive that whole experience. This is one of the few series that I feel like I'm not scared to reread because I know I'm still going to love it. Like, even if I can point out even more flaws in it when I read it the second time, which I'm sure I'll be able to, I still feel like I'm still gonna get that feeling that I got the first time of reading it and just getting back to these characters and this world, especially since we're gonna have a little bit of a break from Grisha books from Leigh for a little while here. It'll be nice to go back and like start from the beginning again and just experience everything from the beginning and my precious, precious children. Number 2 is the Harry Potter series. I've actually only read this series through the one time, and it was broken up into 2 parts. I've told the story before, but I read the first 3 books when I was younger as they were coming out, and then I got scared and didn't read the rest of the books until I was in college. So I don't have the experience of like reading them as they all come out, and even like reading them back to back, or reading them as an adult at all, and I really want to at least start the series this year. I plan on reading the first book around Christmas time for Harry Christmas to You, and just kind of going from there. But I want to read the series. I have lots of friends that have read it like multiple times, and I feel like I'm so in like the fandom side of things that I don't even remember a lot of the canon stuff that happened. So it'll be nice to kind of go back and like remember the things that weren't included in the movies and that aren't included in like fan fiction and stuff, and like relive that whole magical experience that so many people have and I haven't. And number 1 is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, and this is my favorite classic. I read it in high school, and I haven't read it since. I was actually struggling with a few classics that I read in high school that I want to reread. Like, I'd like to reread Wuthering Heights, and I'd like to reread Pride and Prejudice as well, and that kind of falls in the same category of books that I read in high school and loved, and just haven't reread since. So for the longest time I was looking for an edition of this book that I liked, and then my good friend Sarah Jane sent me this edition, and so I now have an edition that I like and would be willing to read, because before it was all these like really small mass market paperbacks that I couldn't abide them. So now I have an edition that I could read, and it's just another one of those experiences where it's like, am I gonna love it as much this time around? And like, how am I gonna feel? But it's a classic, so I feel like it's not going to change that much. I don't know, we'll see. It's my favorite classic, and I feel like there's been so many things that I've forgotten about it, and I haven't really seen any like mini-series or movie versions of like this, so I feel like I'm fairly unfamiliar with it for it being my favorite classic, and I do want to reread it at some point, but I'm giving myself more of like a 5-year goal, because I don't think it's going to happen even the next year, but I do want to. I just always kind of glaze over it, which is weird because it's my number 1. So maybe I should prioritize it a little more than I am. Alright guys, that is it for the books that I want to reread. Comment down below and let me know some books that you hope to reread soon. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all you guys soon. Bye!